Welcome back, listeners. Today we're diving into a paradox. The subconscious mind doesn't actually understand words the way our conscious brain does. We'll unpack why that matters for personal growth.
That's right, Linda. Imagine trying to explain a feeling with a label that never truly reaches the deeper part of you. It's like speaking a foreign language to yourself. This episode will show you how to bridge that gap.
We'll start with the science behind language processing in the brain, then move to real life case studies that illustrate the signs of a subconscious that's out of sync with our words. By the end, you'll have practical life hacks to realign them.
And we'll sprinkle in some surprising statistics. Did you know that up to 70% of our decisions are driven by the subconscious, yet most of us try to influence it with mere words? That's a powerful gap to explore.
Exactly. So stay with us as we decode the signals, examine why they happen, and reveal the solutions you can apply today. Let's get started.
First up, the most common sign, feeling stuck despite positive affirmations. What's really interesting is that the subconscious often hears the emotion behind the words, not the words themselves.
Sign 1. Mary, repeated self-sabotage after using motivational phrases. A case study from a cognitive behavioral therapist showed a client who recited, I am confident daily, but still avoided public speaking. The cause? Their subconscious associated the phrase with past failure because the word alone didn't match the felt experience.
That's a great point, Linda. The client's emotional memory was stuck in a fear pattern, so the words bounced off a wall of unresolved anxiety. What most people don't realize is that the subconscious processes images and sensations far more powerfully than abstract language.
Exactly. In neuroscience, the amygdala reacts to sensory cues, not to verbal labels. When a person visualizes a calm beach while saying, I am relaxed, the subconscious receives a coherent signal. Without that sensory anchor, the words remain meaningless to the deeper mind.
So the solution, Linda, is to pair words with vivid imagery. A simple life hack. Before saying a mantra, close your eyes and picture the desired outcome in as much detail as possible, the colors, sounds, even the temperature.
Sign 2. The feeling of mental fatigue after journaling. A psychological study from the University of Michigan found participants who wrote, I feel happy, without exploring the underlying emotions reported higher stress. The subconscious sensed a mismatch between the statement and their internal state.
That reminds me of a client who kept writing, I am successful, while secretly fearing failure. The subconscious flagged the contradiction, leading to a loop of self-criticism. Here's where it gets fascinating. Acknowledging the hidden fear first allows the words to be accepted later.
The technique is called shadow integration. First, name the uncomfortable feeling. I feel anxious about my career. Then follow with the positive intention. I am open to new opportunities. This sequence respects the subconscious's need for honesty before aspiration.
And the result is a smoother neural pathway. A case from a neurofeedback clinic showed a 30% reduction in cortisol levels after participants practiced this two-step phrasing for 2 weeks. That's a concrete, measurable benefit.
Sign 3. The phenomenon of inner resistance when visualizing goals. In a longitudinal study on athletes, those who visualized with generic words like win experienced plateaus, while those who used sensory-rich scenes broke through performance barriers.
What's particularly interesting is that the subconscious stores memories as multimodal packets: sight, sound, smell, touch. When the visualization is vague, the subconscious can't anchor the intention, leading to resistance.
A practical hack. Replace abstract nouns with concrete actions. Instead of saying, I am successful, say, I am delivering my project report on Monday, feeling confident as I speak. This gives the subconscious a clear scenario to work with.
And you can amplify it with a physical anchor, for example, pressing your thumb and forefinger together while you speak the statement. The tactile cue reinforces the neural link, a technique borrowed from NLP.
Sign 4. The disconnect between spoken affirmations and sleep dreams. A sleep study showed participants who recited, I am safe before bed, but harbored subconscious trauma experienced nightmares. The subconscious during REM replayed unresolved fear because the word alone didn't rewrite the underlying script.
That's a powerful reminder, Linda. The solution involves a pre-sleep ritual. Combine the affirmation with a brief body scan, releasing tension from each muscle group. This signals safety to the subconscious on a physiological level.
A case from a therapist's notes described a client who added a 5-minute breathing exercise before saying, I am at peace. Within a week, their dream content shifted from chaotic to calm. The breath anchored the word in the nervous system.
And that's just the beginning of how language interacts with the deeper mind. Let's explore a final sign: emotional numbness after repeated positive self-talk.
In a longitudinal case series on burnout, clinicians observed that employees who relied solely on verbal affirmations without addressing workload stress reported emotional flattening. The subconscious recognized the dissonance between words and lived experience.
What most people don't realize is that the subconscious demands congruence. If you say, I love my job, while your environment is toxic, the mind creates a protective block, leading to disengagement.
The corrective approach is to first modify the external condition where possible, or to reframe the statement to reflect reality while opening space for change. For example, I am exploring ways to improve my work environment, respects the current state, and invites growth.
And here's a quick life hack. Write down 3 concrete steps you can take today, then pair each step with a short, vivid phrase. This turns abstract hope into actionable momentum, which the subconscious can readily accept.
To recap, we identified 4 key signs that the subconscious isn't processing words: self sabotage, despite affirmations; mental fatigue from mismatched journaling; inner resistance to vague visualizations; and emotional numbness from incongruent self talk. Each sign points to a deeper need for sensory alignment.
And we offered concrete solutions. Pair words with vivid imagery, integrate shadow feelings before positive statements, use sensory-rich descriptions, add physical anchors, incorporate breathwork before sleep, and reframe language to match reality while planning actionable steps.
By applying these techniques, listeners can reprogram their subconscious pathways, turning words into true catalysts for change. The brain responds to experience, not just language, so we must feed it with rich, coherent signals.
That's the essence of what we call subconscious literacy, the skill of speaking to the deeper mind in a language it understands. Practice these hacks daily, and you'll notice a shift in how effortlessly your goals manifest.
We hope today's deep dive gave you clear insight into why words alone may not reach the subconscious and how to bridge that gap with sensory-rich practices.
If this helps, follow Mind Codes podcast for more insight. And if you liked the content, please subscribe, share, like, comment, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with the latest videos on the channel.
Remember, the journey to self-development starts with aligning mind and language. Small, consistent adjustments can create profound change.
See you soon on the next episode of Mind Codes podcast. Until then, keep exploring the codes within.
Take care and keep nurturing that powerful subconscious mind.
Goodbye for now.